let's talk about grades. Because they're official. Let's start off with offense, okay? Pass blocking grades from last night. Trent Brown led the team in pass blocking grades, and it sucks that he is now officially out for the season. So we just literally had the best pass blocker last night go down for the season. Teddy K was a 75, Orlando Brown was a 70.8, Cordell Volson was a 70, Kappa was a 69.9, and in Amarius Mims' first NFL appearance, you probably saw it last night, he struggled greatly, coming in at a 55.4 pass blocking grade. Yeah, he did not do well. And we're going to be going through the offensive line breakdown video later today and kind of looking at that. But yeah, it was definitely a struggle bust for Amarius Mims' first game. It is what it is. Did not look good. Zach Moss and Chase Brown, who are known as two really good pass blocking running backs, also struggled last night. Now, thankfully, I believe Joe, when he got sacked one time in the end, actually, no, excuse me, two times. What, did he get sacked once or twice? I think he got sacked twice. So, 2 sacks in the end. But for the most part, Joe was held upright. 33 points, The offense wasn't the problem. So, when I look at these grades, I do look at the fact that, you know what? At least we were able to run block. And at least we were able to actually move the ball. Which is not always a given with this offense. And you'd be surprised that our run blocking grades were absolutely atrocious. Which is so weird because, again, we were able to run the ball effectively. So I'm actually highly surprised that the run blocking grades are so atrocious when I feel like that's the one category we did pretty dang good in, was running the football. But apparently not, as we come in with really no one doing good yesterday. Cordell Volson's the best at 65.4. Trent Brown, 64.3. Jamar Chase didn't do good. The worst guy was Yoshi, which kind of expected. Mike Gesicki didn't do good. And Amarius Mims' first NFL appearance was atrocious. Now again, keep in mind, Amarius did not expect to become the starter last night. No one expected Amarius Mims to go in there as a starter after Trent Brown went down with injury. Everyone expected Trent Brown to be fine, no issues or setbacks. Obviously, you got to deal with adversity. You got to deal with what happens. But for the most part, again, like I said, I'm not really too worried about our offense. I think Amarius Mims will get better as time goes on. Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried more about our defense. And here's what I'll say about our defense, right? I know a lot of people are doom and gloom right now. And it makes sense because we looked bad last night. But at the end of the day, what you do have to look at and kind of look forward to is that BJ Hill and Sheldon Rankins will be back very soon. Once we get those guys back, things will kind of even back out. We're also going to get back, Chris Jenkins every single week is going to get better and better. He's going to become more and more of a mutant, which is good. And number 4 is McKinley Jackson will also come back eventually, and we'll have him. So, our defensive line, for the most part, yes, struggled greatly. Last night was awful. But we will get back some guys from injuries, and we will figure some things out in that department. Is it acceptable with how bad they were? No. But it is what it is. We will get back players from injuries. So, it's like, I saw a lot of people on Twitter say, like, where do we go from now? Where do we go from here? And it's like, well, where we go is we're going to get players back from injury, and this squad's going to get a little bit better on defense. I would say a lot better, actually, not even a little better. But let's talk about that defense. Run defense last night, Logan Wilson actually had the best night possible. Joseph Asai, who had 13 run defensive snaps, had a 30.2. Obviously, Jordan Battle did not get a single snap last night, which they just don't want to use him. Mo Ma Jungmita also did not have a snap last night, which would have been nice because I feel like he, again, could help us out in some capacity and we could actually utilize who we have on this team. But yeah, no, our run defense was absolutely dog water. Chris Jenkins did have a 71.3 though, so that's actually really relieving to see that he did good. Lawrence Guy had a 71.1. So the two guys that we really needed to have a good night had a good night, but everyone else sucked. Well, for the most part, except for the top part here. But yeah, man, Jaden Daniels is good. Like, that's really what you gotta look at also, is like, Jaden Daniels was the number 3 overall pick for a reason. The guy is freaking good. This is where I'm scared of. This is what I'm scared of. Is pass rushing. We cannot get to the quarterback. And unless it's Trey Hendrickson, nobody's getting to the quarterback, ever. And that's where I'm really, really scared. Because we have to really bank off the fact that Myles Murphy is going to come back and be that guy that we need him to be. And I think it's possible he could come back and be that guy. But we're banking everything off of him becoming really good. And nobody else is really getting the job done on the defensive line position. And that's what scares the living crap out of me, is just the fact that we don't have any pass rush. And you're not going to beat anybody if you can't get to the quarterback. I mean, you don't want to go into games and have a 50-point game every single week. You need to do something. So that's something I will say that we need to do something. We need to work on something, figure something out, because this is unacceptable. Our pass rushing being this piss poor is so freaking unacceptable. And again, like I said, there is no actual 100% clear cut, okay, this is what we're going to do to get better. This is what we're going to do to fix our problems. And because we don't have that clear cut solution right now, we're right now between a rock and a hard place. And that's what scares the living crap out of me. So we need... just trade for Micah Parsons. Like, come on. He wants a new contract. He loves us. He loves Cincinnati. He wants to play for Cincinnati. Let's just give him what he wants. Go give him his contract. Whatever he wants, whatever he asks for, you say, yes, sir, and you give him his contract. And you trade for him. Dallas right now is going through heck. They'll probably be okay with trading him because they just gave Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb all that money. So just go get him. Like, what at this point, why not? You know, the Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill because they knew they needed a big guy to help them. Right? That's exactly what we need here. You go get Micah Parsons, automatically our pass rush starts to get better. You get Micah Parsons, we're going to be able to shut down the run because he's also really good at run defense as well. Like, everything gets fixed if you get Micah Parsons. And I know that's a big guy to go get, and that's crazy to say, but man, you just got to go do it. You're not paying T. Higgins anyway. Why not? Use that money. If you're not going to pay T, go pay Micah. Like I said, I know at first, and it started as a joke at first for me. I was like, oh yeah, let's go to Micah. But now it's like, I don't think of it as a joke anymore. I'm like dead serious. And you might say, well, how are we going to pay him? We have the money. We can push money toward the future. We can work with him. If he wants to be a Bengal, let him be a Bengal. There's no reason not to. If you have a Super Bowl team right now in front of you, this team can win the Super Bowl. Our offense last night proved we can win a Super Bowl. Why not go make the finishing touch that you need? Again, like I said, I know it might be crazy or insane to say. I think we should trade for Micah Parsons, and I will say that from now until the end of the season. I believe Micah Parsons should be a Cincinnati Bengal. 1,000%. Coverage-wise, we didn't do good. Listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. We had a tough game last night. We will bounce back, and we will do good. And I have a lot of confidence in us to get this job, or continue to get this job done through any means possible. I think we'll be fine. But again, and I know I said it a million times this video, I think we need to do something that is unlike what the Bengals normally do, which is out of the ordinary and not expected, I think we need to trade for Micah Parsons. And I think if we did that, we would be fine. I'm not scared of anything if we had Micah on defense. If I knew that one side had Micah, one side had Trey, I mean, again, like I said, it's a perfect time. The Cowboys right now are in shambles. They're going through hell and back right now. So take advantage of it. That's what good teams do. Good teams take advantage of bad situations for other teams. They're going through it. Let them go through it. Let their misery be our joy. Hoo day. Hoo day for life, boys.